Wait a minute. You're saying if you're streaming on YouTube Gaming, even if you're saying if Duelist was streaming from Greater Canada, America, and I gave you a link, it would region block you. I did not know this. This sucks. So I was going to try and get Dashfire to. Just a sec. I'm kind of halfway between getting to the streaming computer.
Which country do you choose in your? You are also using Ola, no? For
Give me the link again. Send me the link one more time. I'm in the channel now on my streaming computer. Those trucks are gotta be pulling 85 kph through there in the middle of the bloody night. What's up? Methinks the TeamSpeak server might be taking a dump. I don't know if my voice is breaking up or not. Burner, send me the streaming link one more time.
currently loading.
So this is YouTube, or no, this isn't YouTube gaming. This is just regular YouTube streaming. So where does Commander Shepard sit?
Hey, there's a 350. And I have the live stream. This one is 1 day ago.
Where's all the weapons at? You're walking around the ship. I don't see any weapons.
Not open it. No recent activity. On BJ Bonesbreaker, huh? No recent activity. Yeah, I set it up to United States, and then he was saying get down to the language because it was German. Set everything to English and Canada or wherever.
Ah, that's cool. Are these like, okay, so those are missiles? And those other things were the rotary autocannons? Or were they pulse lasers? Hmm. Is that a second seat for a crew member?
Yeah.
So how does that work? You want to just play as a crew member, but you don't own a ship. That means that you cannot play at all, correct?
No. And also just play as crew member on other ships. You don't have to own a ship, but usually as you buy the game, there will always be a small ship, an Aurora or something like this, included in the package.
Mhm.
But later, if you do not have the right ship for the right purpose, you can rent it from a friend or can fly with a friend, whatever you want.
Now, is this a ship from the WR fleet, or is this your ship, Burner?
Too much currently. I can only display 4 of these hangar modules. Then a new room will continuously will be added, but currently only 4 rooms are allowed, 4 or 5, and there you can place one large ship or one medium-sized ship or 3 small-sized ships, and I cannot fit them all in my hangar currently. It's also overkill for the graphics card because they need to optimize it.
So they're still planning on releasing the first-person module. It's just that they delayed it indefinitely.
Two months, 1 month, I think, one and a half or 2 months from now on. They have to get rid of the whole animation assets that they did. They created a new character rig, and they have to transform it again, all the animations to that new skeleton or rig, and some technical issues as well. But this one is just a level tech and level design and so on, where they have a couple of glitches. still. They could have released it. They plan to release it after PAX East, I think it was, in March. So they wanted to aim for end of May. That was their plan, but as so much fundamental things are going on in this module, and which also has to be combined with the social module and all the activities out of combat in first person. A lot of groundworking technology had to be built up before they wanted to release. They could have done just a release and then they would have completely thrown it out of the window and took the new shot, but that would have cost time. Many people didn't understand that step, and that this first person thing is a real big thing for the whole universe. And so they got a little bit angry and say that it's delayed. Overall, the game is for sure grown in scope and delayed to the original plan, where they said, okay, we crowdfund until the end of 2012, and then somewhere 2014 or beginning of 2015, we are out with everything. But the scope changed a lot. I was expecting that from the very first beginning, because as they spoke about boarding, I was already sure that they should will make will produce a whole first-person shooter module to get this good. And so up to now, everything up to my expectations so far. I already expected it to be not just early 2015. I could never imagine that they can do so much content and so much groundwork in just 2 years. 2 or 3 years. Every other game of that scope needs 6, 7, 8 years. So I'm fine. And you can always see the anger is rising until the next event where they announce something or show off something, and then everybody is fine again and really blown away by it and say, yay. Low. All the ranks are low quality on this. Is just a org chart or beginning of an org chart. Now we are aiming to get enough people for all these ships, which is pretty difficult because we already have several hundred in our ships. You can fly out with NPCs, and as soon as, for example, I fly out a Constellation, it's a 4-member crew ship, and as soon I take 3 NPCs with me, and as soon as I get into trouble, someone can hop in and take the role of the NPC.
That's a cool feature.
Yeah, because otherwise this is not possible to organize. To come for help, that's then you are already down. But so you don't have to fly all the ships all the time with a full stacked up crew with humans. It also works with NPCs, but not as effective. And we will see how much skill how much skill is involved in all the stations that you can do, engineering station and science station and whatever. and if they are fun to play. That's the main reason I said that everything above my Idris frigate, which is about, what was it, 300 meters, 340 meters long, has a crew of 10 and can potentially take a lot more. Can park 2 single seat ships inside the bay, and this one is enough for a 50 person clan or a 100-person clan. Everything above, they are all dreaming of getting a Bengal carrier somewhere. This has a crew size of 755 people, stock crew, up to the current fiction. So there's a lot of things to do, and I think even as a big clan, you don't want such a big ship, because people get bored on this one. Cannot say they 1 week always in the same position and reload the torpedo bay or something like that. I think this is really just for the very big clans.
Starboard impact
with
warning.
different time
Thrusters.
zones, because
System is offline.
all these ships are persistent. Above my Idris, there's the Javelin destroyer. This one is the biggest and most powerful ship that you can earn, $2,500, and there are just 100 out there currently. And yeah, this one you have to build from scratch. You have to buy everything, every weapon that you put on it. They are massive weapons, so you have to build it up, the interior completely, because it's fully
Thrusters
civilized
are running
version
low.
of it. And this one is the last non-persistent ship. So when you power it down, everybody leaves the ship or logs out, and the ship disappears out of the persistent universe, and you are
Thrusters
safe.
are running low.
Your ship, and all the other ships above are persistent ships, so you have to cover them 24/7.
Thrusters are running low.
So, once Star Citizen is finished or has its whole thing going, will it resemble the scale or the gameplay style of that EVE Online thing, or will it be very different?
Oh, very different, because EVE Online is nothing more than some blocks of that is called ships are floating there, and you are pushing some buttons and say aim to that ship, shoot that gun on that ship, and so on. And yeah, that's okay. And that's yeah, EVE Online can do massive battles, because these are it doesn't matter how the gun of a really big ship or a turret of a big ship, how this one where this one is facing. So they do not have to update so much on the server side, so they can put a lot more people on the server and slow the server additionally down. They have I think when they do such massive battles, they have a latency of 3 seconds. So if you push the button 3 seconds later, it gets pushed out to the others. And because it's first person and yeah, a real combat simulation, you always need to know where your opponent is flying exactly to hit him, and where he is aiming the guns to. So this is much more fidelity, and then the battles get a lot smaller because there's no server and no internet that can provide such a big data stream to get a really massive battle. So the battles, they are aiming for 100 people. Hopefully they get this 50 versus 50, something like this. Perhaps when that tech goes on, they are dreaming of 100 versus 100. So you can see in a first-person perspective, this one is also an epic battle because 200 ships floating around in space and you fight in between them. One is cool, but it's not the scale of Naive. It's technically also totally different, and the end game is not like in Eve. The end game in Eve is trying to get the superhero of the galaxy. And then there are massive clans that are claiming territories for their clan, and they are fighting over this. This one is not, the assets are smaller. You fight over a space station where a factory is placed, or a mining station, or an economy node somewhere on the outer rims. But the whole economy consists of 10% of us, of the players, and the other 90% is calculated as NPCs participating in the economy. So no one can crush the economy like in Eve, where you can really say demand, and you can how do you call it, narrow the demand, narrow the offers, and then as the demand is there, the prices get higher, and then sell the goods at the highest prices. And the big clans can really manipulate the prices in EVE Online pretty much. This one is not so much possible in Star Citizen. It's more an MMORPG, I would say, and they start out with 100 to 150 star systems, which is big enough because they add a lot of points of interests and things to do. I quite like this approach because I played here Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous has 4 billion star systems, and this one is crazy. You will not meet anybody there, and it's boring. It's just going to one space station, load up some cargo, and sell it, drive it, transport it to another space station, and then sell it there for a little bit higher price, make profit, and then that's nearly the whole game. And I hope Star Citizen will have much more variations of missions to do there.
Yeah, I see these articles about EVE Online where there's like hundreds of thousands of euros that are lost because they take these Titan ships or whatever, and they accidentally get them in the wrong space, and then there's these day-long battles, and the servers are just massively overloaded.
Yeah, I mean that's also just a number. So they say if you grind up for that as a normal person playing EVE Online, it would cost you so much gaming time that it's probably worth it, about $8,000 per Titan ship, for example. This Titan super carrier or whatever. But the big clans have so much economic power that they can pull off such things with ease. So I know one guy playing EVE Online, and he joined one of the two massive clans, and he got a Titan super carrier as present. The problem in EVE Online, and that's the problem of EVE Online, that you have to grind. You have to grind your professions. You have to grind what you can fly, and so on. And many people do it. They set up the game and they say, grind this, grind that. Go always from A to B. When I'm offline, you always go from A to B, and then grind up your character or your account to get the professions and the permissions to fly such ships. You cannot join EVE Online and can fly a super carrier, even if someone gives you this as a present. You cannot fly it because you haven't developed your character.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes you currently to get close to those guys who are playing it for years. It also takes you years. One guy said it was probably to get a good account, you have to